Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Today we will learn about the risk and return in security in portfolio management. And this subject is equally beneficial for MBA student as well as to the students of BBA who is opting finance as specialization. So both of them can watch this video, and this video is equally important for all of them. Now, in risk and return, we have already discussed the introductory part of risk and return in our previous lecture. That a risk is nothing. Risk is a sort of loss or injury, or degree of loss. So this risk you can say as the degree or probability of such loss. And as I have already discussed you in the previous class, the risk has two components, that is systematic and unsystematic. Systematic risk I have already discussed you in my previous lecture, the risk which is uncontrollable and which affects the whole market. Like, what are the example of systematic risk? Like war, like inflation, like drought. These you cannot have a control on inflation or war or drought or flood. So because of this flood and drought and war and inflation and all these, you do not have control, so it will affect the whole market. The second type of risk is unsystematic risk. Unsystematic risk is the risk which is unique in nature, which is unique to the particular specific company or industry. Like suppose the labor unrest. Labor unrest in suppose Maruti will not affect the labor unrest of other company, that is suppose Reliance company or some MDH Masala. It means what? This labor unrest problem of Maruti will be solved by the human resource manager of Maruti Udyog only. So this type of risk will be under unsystematic risk. Now, the risk, I have already told you that how you measure the risk. That measurement of risk will depend on probability and the variation in return, variability in return. So what is this? Suppose I have already discussed one question I have given you, that probability distribution you can say as describes the outcome and their associated probabilities. That is, this is one shot through which you can measure the risk, that is probability, which is really a number that represents the chances of occurrence of different possible outcomes. So probability gives hints about the intensity of risk involved in investment. Now, if suppose there is one company, XY company, and this company is considering investing 50,000 in additional stocks, and there are three states of economy, that is bad economy, average economy, or good economy. So in these three economy, how the return is fluctuating and what are the probability of the return. And in this way, suppose if I say there is, suppose we can take the example. Suppose this is state and this is probability and this is return. And suppose this is bad state of economy, this is average, and this is good. In this economy, suppose there is 0% or 20% probability. 20% probability means 20% 0.20. So there is a probability of 20% in bad economy that you will get 0% return. You will get nothing. And how much is the probability? 20%. Out of 100%. Out of 100%, we are misery. So out of 20%, out of 100%, 20% you will not get any return. Then 60% probability, that is 0.60, there is a probability of to get 10% return. So you will get 10% return, and the probability is 60% in average economy. And in the good economy, how much? In the good economy, you will get 20%. You will get 20%. 20% probability, 20% return, and probability is 20%, 0.20. So 20 plus 60, 80 plus 20, 100. This 100% probability is that you are getting 0%, 10% and 20%. Now what? Now on the basis of this, we will calculate the expected return. And expected return is how much? Expected return is the combination of, that is multiplication of probability multiplied by return. That is summation of probability multiplied by return, and is equal to 1. Now you see the probability is how much in bad economy? 20%. Multiplied by return is how much? 0%. Again 60%, that is 0.60, multiplied by 10%, 0.10, plus 20%, 0.20, multiplied by 20%, 0.20. Now what is the expected return? Expected return is, now you calculate this one, 0.20 multiplied by 0.10, that is 0.2 multiplied by 0.0. That is 20%, and you will get 0% return, that is 0.20. Plus this is 0, 0.20 multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. 0.60 multiplied by 10%, that is 0.60, 0.6 multiplied by 0.1, that is 0.06, plus 0.2 multiplied by 0.2, 0.2 multiplied by 0.04. So how much is the return? 0.10. That is how much? 10%. Expected return will be 10%. Is that clear? So you will get 10% of the return if your probability is in 3 state of economy is 20%, 0%, 0%, 60%, 10%, and 20%, 20%. It means you are combining this multiplied by this plus this multiplied by this multiplied by this. When you multiply this one, this is 0, this is 0.06, this is 0.04, this is 0.10. This is 10%. This is your expected return. Now, what we want to calculate? Expected return you have calculated. Now we are going to calculate the risk. How you calculate the risk? To calculate the risk, you have to calculate risk. Risk is what? Risk is called, that is return probability multiplied by return probability multiplied by return minus expected return. That is whole square. How you calculate this one? What is probability? Probability is, for this one, probability is 0.20 multiplied by return is how much? 0%. Minus expected return I have calculated 10%. Whole square plus second one, probability is 60%. Multiplied by return is, here return is 10%. Minus expected return is 10%. Whole square plus again 20%. Multiplied by 20% minus 10%. Now in this way you can, now you calculate, you sum it, and you will get the answer. You will get how we calculate just see, I'm just giving you the information of this one. Wait 1 minute. That risk, this is called, risk is called in the, why there is risk? Why there is risk? Because of the variations in the return. There is variation of 0% to 10% to 20%. So there is, this is the risk. Risk is because there is a variation in return. How much variation and how much risk? Risk is 10 per 20%, return is 10 plus 0%, risk is 20 to 60%, return is probability is 10%. So it means what? We want to calculate now the variations of what? Variations of the return. How much is the variation? 0 to 10, 10 to 20. Now we calculate variation, that is risk. Variance, that is called variance. How we calculate variance? Variance is probability multiplied by return minus expected return. Now we calculate this one. 0.20 multiplied by this 0 minus 0.10 to the power, that is minus 0.10 whole square plus 0.60 multiplied by this 0.10 minus 0.10, that is 0. So this multiplied by 0 whole square plus 0.20 multiplied by 0.20 minus 0.10, that is 0.10 whole square. If you calculate this, this will be equal to how much? This will be equal to 0.004. Variances, big or small? Let's use here. You see, 20% in bad state of economy, the return is 0, 10 and 20. It's not, that is not 10 and 70, 70 to 10, 10 to 30, 30 to 90, not like that. It means when there is more variations, large variations, that is variance in the return. Here variance is little, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, that is similar type of variance is there. So risk is how much? Variance is how much? 0.004, very small. It means what? It means if the variance is very less, it means the project investment is not very risky in that very stock. But if the variance is very high, if suppose the variance is not this, variance is, suppose we compare the variance as here, variance of one company is suppose 0.004 and the other company is suppose stock 1, stock A, and other companies variance is 0.10. which one is more riskier? Obviously, the B one. Why? Here the risk is, here the variance of between the return is very less, but here the variance is 0.10. Suppose the suppose the security is C. You have invested. This is Maruti. Suppose this is Tata and this is Mahindra. Here the variance is 0.50. Which one is more riskier? Which investment is more riskier? Obviously, investment C. Why? Because the variation in between the return is very high. Is that clear? So, it means what? The risk is the probability, degree or probability, possibility of the outcome. And this possibility has related with the return. And when we multiply this probability, possibility and return, then we'll get the expected return. So first of all, we will calculate the expected return. Thereafter, we'll calculate the variance. And variance will calculate as the probability multiplied by return minus expected return whole square. Probability you know, return you know, expected return we have already calculated as ER is equal to expected return is 10%. In this way we have calculated the variance, and here the variance is less, so we can say that the organization, the probability of which one is less riskier, and the variance, the investment, the probability, the variance of which is very high is more riskier. Is that clear? Now we will discuss the covariance and correlation coefficient, and I think to calculate to discuss the correlation coefficient and covariance, it will take time, so we'll discuss this in the next class. Thank you very much.